How old are you?
I'm 18.
I'm 19. 17.
What's your gender?
Female.
Male.
Female.
Female.
Do you think we live in a misogynistic society where gender-based discrimination is common?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yes, 100%.
Have you ever noticed and or reinforced traditional gender stereotypes around you? And how?
I have noticed, but I don't think I have intentionally reinforced those stereotypical discriminations against other people.
How do you think you would have noticed? Examples though.
Oh, I think I've noticed it in through my family bonds. For example, like pupos and all the aunts, and like whenever there's like family gathering, you can always sense the patriarchal values there and how the people are always like discriminating against women and their potential dreams and everything.
Maybe subconsciously.
So have you noticed them?
Yes, I have noticed it.
Cite some examples.
Like in my everyday life, with my parents.
Yes, often.
How?
In my family, not in my family, but like in people I know.
I have noticed them, and I'm sure I have perpetuated them to an extent, but I try not to.
Okay. How do you think you've noticed them?
Honestly, the patriarchy seeps into everyday life, from language to how we talk about intimacy to romance to everything. Even the way you swear at other people is so entrenched in misogyny. The way you talk about just women, where you talk about women, so entrenched in misogyny. Insults, so entrenched. Anything that is feminine is seen as an insult. Femininity is used as an insult, and language is rooted in misogyny.
Do you think the patriarchy is harmful?
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
It is.
Yes, it is a power structure that demands for the oppression of one group and the dominance of another. And it is not only harmful to women, it is harmful to men in very insidious ways. And the only people who actually benefit from it are the men in power. White, upper class, cis het men. That's who are the only people who benefit from the patriarchy.
Is it harmful only to women or to men and women both?
No, I think it affects everyone through internalized misogyny. I think it affects men and women at their most of the time through society's barriers and their expectations of a particular gender. And I think it's not just a particular gendered thing.
I think both.
How?
It's harmful for everyone.
Would you agree that internalized misogyny is a huge part of our society?
Yes, I think it is.
Yes.
It is.
Oh,
In society?
100%. Even in the most like quote unquote liberal leftist people, you see so much internalized misogyny. So many times I've made a friend who's like apparently very liberal leftist, but and then you talk to them and it's like you notice subtle things that are tells of the internalized misogyny. For example, if you call a woman, if you call a man that is anything that is remotely close to something that's considered feminine, they will take it as such an insult. They'll be like, how dare you? And then it makes you realize how deeply misogynistic most people are, and how much femininity is demonized.
Do you think it's easier to live as a man or a woman in today's society, and why?
I think it's definitely like 100% easier to live as a man, because as a man you're respected regardless of anything you've ever done, because you're just a man and you have more freedom than anyone else.
Of course, as a man, because women have to take the mental load usually.
It's easier to live as a man in this society because women are discriminated by men a lot, and it's very hard for women to live. Yeah.
As a man, it's always, for the last couple of, I'd say 100 or 1,000 years, I'd say it's been easier to live as a man because of the systematic inequalities that pervade our society. And even if you are a man, you don't realize it, but the patriarchy does harm you in many ways. It suppresses your identity, and it boxes you into one small box, gender, and it doesn't let you express your gender identity. It doesn't let you express your sexuality. It doesn't let you express so many things.
Do you like films on social commentary or realism?
Yes, I do, but I prefer them to be a bit more simpler than what I've usually seen them as, because they're usually more complicated than they need to be.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I do.
Yes, I do. Anything that holds true social commentary coming from a place of mostly unbiasedness, I think is very important, because most social commentary these days is about, oh, woman leaves man is a gold digger, and it's really, we need true leftist social commentary that critiques the, oppressive fabric of our society.
In a film about social commentary on gender, what do you think would be the most important technical aspect? Sound, camera work, editing, or mise en scene?
I think sound as in dialogues would be the most important work, but camera work and everything along the lines of mise en scene are like very important, and I think it plays a crucial role in creating a patriarchal film about women and their struggles.
I think the acting and the mise en scene is the most important one.
I think editing matters a lot to me.
I would say all of those things are important, but I think specifically mise en scene would really play a part in it, because we don't realize how many of the things that we employ as women, and how many things we employ as assets of womanhood, things that we think are like something that make us more womanly, are very oppressive. For one, traditional beauty standards and what they demand of us, for example, like makeup, plastic surgery, all of these things, liberal feminism might tell us that they're empowering, but in actuality they're just misogyny repackaged into this white feminist woe, and it's not as empowering as we think it is. Anything that is repackaged, if it's supporting the oppressor and it's repackaged, it is still oppressive. And so I feel like the mise en scene is very important if it is used as symbolism to symbolize all of the things that are insidious and we don't realize but are very oppressive in our daily life.
What do you think the color scheming and lighting should be like?
I think to show how a woman is supposed to look like, to show her conformity to society, they should show like warm tones, and like to show that she's accepting it and she's gonna live with it, but to show that that's not actually how she feels, and how she is trapped in a society which doesn't favor her. So you could use like cold, harsh visuals to show that.
I think the lighting should be dull.
Color scheme should be very dim, and dim lights, and yeah.
I think that like bright clinical lighting that you see in beauty stores and operation rooms and kitchens sometimes, that like harsh garish light that you see, that like pinpoints every single flaw that a woman has. I think that's a very good allegory for the microscopic level of scrutiny that women are usually under.
Okay. What role does symbolism play for you when watching films?
I think symbolism plays a crucial role too. For example, like if you want to see like patriarchal views, we can see it through like what do you call them?
Visual cues?
I think it is the most important factor for me, as it attracts me a lot.
Symbolism is very significant for me.
I think symbolism plays a huge role when it comes to films just in general, because I like watching movies over and over and finding little things to dissect, finding little intricacies that I didn't realize in the first playthrough, and I feel like it brings so much more depth to a film, and you realize how much thought the filmmaker put into a film, because they knew that we wouldn't be able to spot it in the first go through, probably, right? But they knew that enough people would watch it and know and want to know it and realize the intricacies that we might not spot in the first go through.
What do you think is the best way to represent misogyny faced by women in our society, specifically South Asian society?
I think childhood marriages or deprived women from their from their dreams, or like forcing women to be like married to someone that's like way older than them, even though if they're like legally adults, that's still like very wrong. and arranged marriages, or what do you call it, honor killings. All of these are like playing a very crucial role in that.
I think the best way is through marital relationships.
You can highlight that by showing the daily lives of a woman in a Desi household.
I feel like it pervades your everyday life so deeply that you think, oh, this is normal. But then you realize that your mother doesn't sit down after she makes food and she's like, "Sabne khana kha liya? Has everyone eaten?" And it's like, why is your mother is cooking a meal, she's raising the children, she's giving birth to said children, and then she's also going out working, and like obviously in a capitalist society she is paying half of the bill, and you realize how much of invisible labor is put onto these women. And then you realize, you look at your nani and you're like, oh, she never really stopped working, did she? Your nana might have retired at 60, but she's been working. She's every day she's like, tum sab kya khaoge, what will you guys eat? And every day it's like a job, and her identity is dedicated to that place. And it's so subtle, you don't realize it. The women don't sit down after they serve the food. They're constantly asking in the slightest behaviors. The men are like, oh, this is good, but it could have been better, even though they didn't cook the food, they didn't do anything. But are the ones who get to say when we are supposed to eat, how we're supposed to eat it, what we're supposed to eat, and the women are just supposed to obey. And it's like a very common thing, especially in Desi households, and we don't realize how strange it is. Like, why are these people who were just assigned a gender at birth given this much labor, this much unpaid labor that's like so taken for granted? And we think, oh, nani hai, ammi hai, kaam inka to hai ye, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to pack us lunch, they're supposed to make us dinner. But like, why are they supposed to do all of that? Just because they have a certain genitalia, or just because they were socialized to be a certain gender? It does not make sense when you look at it.